You're watching the San Francisco 49ers Report right here on Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr., and yes, we're talking about Tom Brady again because the Brady to the Bay buzz will not stop. I know a lot of you are tired of hearing about it, but it's one of the more fascinating storylines in the 2023 offseason all across the National Football League, so we have to discuss it because Brady continues to get linked to the San Francisco 49ers following Brock Purdy's elbow injury and the delay in surgery. But first, let's have some fun here. If you're tired of hearing about TB12 to the Bay, I want you to type me. If you want Brady to get signed by the Niners, hit that thumbs up icon, like the video. We always appreciate your feedback. Now, here's why Tom Brady keeps getting brought up about whether or not he's going to sign with the Niners and why Colin Cowherd said it's still in play. There's a lot of uncertainty behind Brock Purdy's elbow surgery. If it gets delayed even further beyond this coming week, then Purdy, I highly doubt, is going to be ready for week 1 of the NFL season. And with Trey Lance, I like his potential. 6'4", 225, good athleticism, really strong arm, but 4 combined NFL starts. And going back to 2019, 21 combined starts in the NFL and at North Dakota State. He's also coming off a serious injury, and his inexperience doesn't really link up with the 49ers timeline right now of being and competing in the Super Bowl window. Speaking of that, the 49ers have one of the more loaded, deep rosters in the NFL that is stacked with premier talent. We're talking future Hall of Famers, all pros, and littered with Pro Bowlers and a really good coaching staff. John Lynch from the NFL Combine said a couple of days ago that because Purdy is injured, as well as Trey Lance, we could scour the quarterback market for a veteran to bring in. And then lastly, Tom Brady grew up in San Mateo. He grew up idolizing Joe Montana. His favorite team as a child, the 49ers. Joe Montana was his favorite quarterback, especially when he was at Candlestick for the catch when Montana hit Dwight Clark to beat the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC Championship game. And John Lynch admitted a couple of days ago that he reached out to Tom Brady. Now, as for what he revealed, it was more so about wishing Brady well after his second retirement announcement. Here's what Lynch had to say, direct quote coming at you. I sent him a text when he retired. He was a teammate for about 3 weeks at one point, so I sent him a text. Just congratulations on one of the greatest careers that I've ever seen in any sport, and I wished him the best, so we'll leave it at that. Now, that last sentence is very, very interesting. We'll leave it at that. Was that really all that they talked about? I'm somewhat suspicious, and I'm very curious. I'm going to throw it back to when I was a Big J journalist, and I'm going to come up with this. I don't think that's all that they talked about. Good businesses always would ask, hey, do you want to come join our company? And for John Lynch, hey, do you still want to play? Do you want to win yet another Super Bowl? Do you want to come to your childhood team when we need a quarterback and take us to the promised land, as time and time again we've come up short on that quest for a 6th Lombardi trophy? Give him a little nudge in the arm, John Lynch, and say, if you want to play, we could really use you. And Brady to the Bay just makes way too much sense. And I think that's why it still comes up at the forefront of a lot of these conversations across the National Football League. There's the fact that he grew up in NorCal, his parents still live in the Bay Area. After the 2020 season, when he left the New England Patriots, he wanted to sign with the 49ers, and San Francisco elected to go with Jimmy Garoppolo. Then Brady went to Tampa Bay, and it all worked out because in that first season, they ended up winning a Super Bowl. But Brady is an uber competitor, and he wants to win that 8th championship. And I saw a lot of fire this past year. I saw a lot of frustrations with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A lot of those frustrations won't happen when you have Kyle Shanahan, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, Trent Williams protecting your blind side, and Christian McCaffrey in the backfield, also with the loaded defense. As for why we're talking about this again, it's because of what Colin Cowherd had to say about Tom Brady. Quote, keep your eyes on Tom Brady to the 49ers. I'm not joking. He continued by saying this. Mike Silver, who does a podcast on Colin Cowherd's podcast network, The Volume. So he said, Mike Silver, who's very connected, he covers the 49ers. He said it's almost too obvious. Tom's got nothing to do for a year. It's a Super Bowl roster. Purdy may not be ready, and you're not sure if Trey can play. And Garoppolo's gone. Who else would you bring in? Tom Brady, when he was on Colin Cowherd's show after his second retirement announcement, never said definitively that he was going to retire when Cowherd asked him. And here's a direct quote from Tom Brady on the Herd. The future is very hard to predict for all of us. Nothing is really guaranteed. I think you just take it day by day. I'm super excited. I really am. I think there's a lot of great things ahead, and I think you need to create some space for those things too. When one thing ends naturally, other opportunities present themselves. I don't try to make predictions, and sometimes I'm really good with certainty. And I think in this case, I'm good with a little bit of uncertainty, even though I have some great opportunities in my professional life ahead. What are those great opportunities? Let's continue to explore. And did Tom Brady ever say there, I am retired, I am done, and that is it? No. More to come on that, but first, shout out to Fume for sponsoring today's San Francisco 49ers Report. This is a product here at Chat Sports that we absolutely love, and you can get 10% off the Journey Pack if you head to tryfume.com/chatsports and use the promo code ChatSports. We all have bad habits, and we certainly know how hard they can be to kick some of those bad habits. Our sponsor, Fume, it's on a mission to accelerate humanity's breakup from the bad habits that consume far too many of us. Fume is a natural diffusive device that uses plant and behavioral science to help you trade out your negative habit for a positive one. I didn't expect much out of Fume when I got it, but the minty sensation is really powerful, and it really hits the back of the throat. They have 3 unique flavors here: white cranberry, maple pepper, and crisp mint. You can get all of those in the Journey Pack and trade out your bad habit for a good one. Fume is not a vape. It's a non-electronic device designed to transform your negative habits. The easiest way to stop a bad habit, switch to a positive one. And Fume is designed perfectly to do just that. Head to tryfume.com/chatsports. Use our code CHATSPORTS to save 10% off when you get the Journey Pack today. That's tryfum.com/chatsports. Use the code CHATSPORTS to save an additional 10% off. We are going to put that link in the comment section. We're going to put it in the description of this video so that you can save and also kick that bad habit today. Now, going back to that quote from Tom Brady to Colin Cowherd, where there did he say, quote, "It's over. I'm done. I'm retiring"? Cowherd added, Tom Brady to San Francisco is in play. And I think when a guy who has probably some business connections to Tom Brady says that in Cowherd, it's interesting. It's of note. And what Mike Silver has said about Brady, he continues to bring it up. He even brought up Aaron Rodgers the other day. And after I listened to his podcast with Aubrey Marcus, I don't think that Aaron Rodgers is going to retire either. But Mike Silver went to Cal. He's a Bay Area guy, Bay Area through and through, right? He's covered this football team. He has good sources inside that building. Maybe he's reading the tea leaves, and maybe a little birdie is telling him it's possible for TB12 to come out of retirement for a second time and head to San Francisco. So let's ask you this question, then I have some more thoughts to round out the show. Appreciate all of you for hanging out with us. If you're still watching right now, I know you're listening, and I know that you're still here. Type real one. Why for yes and for no, do you want the Niners to sign TB12? And as you go down there, make sure you subscribe. We cover all things Niners year round. Deep dive shows like this, breaking news videos, in-depth analysis. We literally do it all because we're not one-way stiffs. YouTube.com/49ers TV. Subscribe right now. Another big question with Brady. Is he washed? 45 years old. He's played for damn near 2 decades, even more. Is he washed? Is he cooked? I don't think Tom Brady is washed. I just think that the Buccaneers last year were a bad football team. And Brady had the most pass attempts, I believe, in his career last year in 2022. 733 passing attempts. Now, a lot of that was a byproduct of the offensive line being bad and him getting rid of the football, him checking it down very, very quickly, but still completed 67% of his passes for nearly 5,000 yards. Like, to throw for nearly 4,700 yards, 25 touchdowns and 9 picks, pretty damn good for TB12. And from 2018 to 2021, everybody kept waiting for him to plummet. Everybody kept waiting for him to have an awful season, and he didn't. Right? He's been playing really good football for a long time. In 2021, he set a career high in touchdown throws, I believe, with 43, 12 interceptions. He threw for 5,300 yards. That, I know, was a career high. Maybe the touchdowns, not a career high. That was back in the Randy and Moss season. But still, you look at the numbers even in 2020. 40 touchdowns to 12 picks. I believe that Tom Brady still has some gas left in the tank because of how he's taking care of his body, the TB12 method, working with Alex Guerrero, the way that he diets, the way that he eats, the nutrition, how he works out. It's all about longevity for TB12, and that's why he's been able to play for this long. The Bucs just weren't a good team last year. Their offense was a mess. They fired every coordinator on that squad. That goes to show you that they weren't happy with how things were going offensively and defensively for that football team, and they just looked to be a team in flux all throughout that year. They never found a rhythm. They never found their footing. And with Brady going back to the 49ers, back to NorCal, where he grew up, where his love of football began, the storybook ending is just too good for Brady to go to the Niners so that he can win yet another Super Bowl and then finally get the Niners to the peak of the mountaintop and get past that hurdle that they haven't been able to get over since Steve Young won that last Super Bowl in the late 90s. Brady comes back to his childhood team. He wins his 8th Super Bowl. Then he rides into the sunset. Then there's no question. He ain't coming back again, right? He won that last Super Bowl. Now he can enjoy retirement life, then hop in the broadcast booth with Fox. And the Brock Purdy injury really has changed things. If Purdy was 100% healthy and you have him on his rookie deal, you have Trey Lance on his rookie deal, I don't think that Brady coming out of retirement for a second time and going to the Niners is something that's all that realistic. But with Purdy going down, we're not sure if it's going to be a Tommy John reconstruction. We're not sure how long he's going to be out. And we're not sure what Trey Lance is. I believe that Trey Lance can be a good player, but we don't know. And with the roster that is equipped to win a Super Bowl, you want to have some assurance at that quarterback spot. You do want to know that you have that guy who never gets injured in Tom Brady, as the 49ers have dealt with so many injury issues, and you want to have that guy who you know can help lead you to the promised land. And with Purdy, you're not sure because of the injury. And with Lance, you're not sure because of the injury and the lack of experience. The roster here for the 49ers is way too good to waste this Super Bowl window. And if they don't win a Super Bowl with this current prime group, it's going to go down as one of the more talented teams in the history of the NFL to never win a Super Bowl. When you look at the future Hall of Famers, Pro Bowlers, All-Pros on the team, and then Kyle Shanahan as the head coach. So let's go back to this question one more time. Have I convinced you? Have I made you think? Are these rumors? Is this buzz very, very interesting to you? Or do you just want Tom Brady to come back or not? Y for yes, N for no. Let us know as you go down there. Another reminder to subscribe to the channel. About 1,000 people away from 80,000 subscribers. We appreciate all the support and keep it locked here for the best Niners coverage on YouTube.